Gift and talent are not the norm. They're not something normal. They are rare. Okay, to build a school body with remarkable talent requires drawing on all the diversity of the human condition from different diverse backgrounds. Poor, rich, short, fat, educated, not uneducated, it doesn't matter. This diversity requires tolerance, tolerance and respect for a wide variety of behaviors. So this is actually for teachers more than anything else, and parents also, families and cultural traditions. So you see, people, they will be coming from various different backgrounds, different parenting. So a teacher needs to be educated on all this to be able to accept a child as he or she is. And gifted children are not easily acceptable because of that. Differential characteristics and possible problems. Now you see that the first set acquires or retains information quickly. It's a plus point. They can acquire and they are able to retain information quickly. The problem is because they are so quick in getting all the information, they become impatient with others. They like, what is it, cannot tahan, but quickly, finish. Dislike basic routine. Okay, you give the child the same kind of work every day. Okay, take out your book, take out your book, do this chapter from this, teach that. Boring. They're going to be disruptive in class, or they just go into their own dream world. They start daydreaming. Okay, inquisitive searchers for significance. Very inquisitive. They ask, very curious. They ask for a lot of questions. Unfortunately, sometimes they ask embarrassing questions, and their interest can be quite excessive. Okay, they may answer questions which you are not ready to answer. They are very young. They ask you a question about the human body or about where does the child come from, and a normal child would also ask such a question. But okay, if the child comes from the hospital, okay, fine, they accept it. The gifted child will keep asking until it makes sense. It's logical to the child's mind. Intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is when you are motivated from the inside. You're not motivated because, let's say, I'm studying because I want to get good grades. That is extrinsic motivation. That's motivation because you want a reward. Intrinsic motivation, I'm studying because I want to know. I want that knowledge. That is intrinsic motivation. Gifted children are not really bothered about their scores. They are more interested because they're hungry for that knowledge. Okay. Now, the downside is a strong will resist direction. Okay, you can tell them they're not going to listen to everything you say. They will have a mind of their own. They will keep asking. They can be very insistent. Now, enjoys problem solving. Problem is resist routine practice, questions, procedures. For example, we go back to the math practice. You see, okay, let's say timetable. You get them to do the tables. They're not going to be interested because it's drilling. It is routine. You have to make it interesting. Otherwise, they are not going to be interested in learning. Seek cause-effect relations. It's good, it's an admirable behavior. Unfortunately, because of that, they dislike unclear, illogical areas. For example, traditions, or sometimes beliefs. If, for example, you tell them about the tooth fairy. Initially, when they're very young, they might, okay, I get money, so happy, yeah? But then later, they start questioning you. Then later they say, actually, I saw daddy coming and putting money under my pillow. Or Santa Claus. If it's not logical, they are not going to accept it. They will question you. And seriously, what you should do is tell them the truth. You can explain to them actually, why the tooth fairy came about. You have to do research. You have to be smarter than them. Do the research. Or if you don't know, you tell your child. You don't have to show that adults know everything. The child needs to know that even adults may not know everything. What you do, you can tell your child, I'm not very sure, let's find out together. Go on the internet, do the search, find out together. If you have time, of course, or You need to make time. If you have a gifted child, you need to make time. So you find out together, and then you will see the child level. Firstly, the child is going to be able to grasp that knowledge. And then that will be, you only have to work on the first child. If your second child is gifted, get the first one to help you. Cheat a bit, huh? Okay, emphasizes truth, equity, and fair play. For them, this is very important. You must be fair. Okay, if you told me you're going to take me to the zoo tomorrow, today, you told me yesterday you're taking me to the zoo. You cannot change your mind unless the reason is acceptable to the child. You promised me. You promised. So now you will see. Familiar, all of you are relating to. Okay, worries about humanitarian concerns. Okay, a child like that is also going to be very concerned that everything is fair, and they can get very depressed if things happen in the world that they can do nothing about. One case I had when I was in Singapore in the referral school, one of my students I was counseling her sister who was just 7, because I only deal with the teens and the secondary school and the college level. So this girl had a sister who was 7, and the parents approached me. They said she has been very depressed. This was the time, the tsunami time, the tsunami I walked in Indonesia, and so this child is actually Indonesian Chinese in Singapore. So that child became very depressed, and they knew the child has very high IQ, and they tried to help the child. They said, okay, we told her that we will donate money. She watches the news and she starts crying. And she doesn't want to miss, she wants to know what's happening. So she became very depressed. Over a course of 2 months, she went to go to see a psychiatrist. When they came to me, you see, the problem is psychiatrists will do what? Medicate, will give you medication for, although lower level, but there'll still be medication. And she needed to see someone who could understand the child, not just go to a doctor, give me medicine, control the problem. Okay, so when I met the child, I knew that child was gifted, and I knew that that child needed to be involved. So the parents say, oh, we donated money, we got her to give the money, not enough. So what I suggested was the parents get the child to do something when the child is directly involved. So I suggested that she could give away a toy, and she could write a note to each of the toys. For each of the toys, write a note. So that kind of work. It didn't work immediately. Slowly it worked. Okay, what she did, and she didn't want money from her parents. She had her own piggy bank. She took all the money out. She bought little toys apart from the toys she had. In fact, she wanted to donate some very expensive toys, and the parents weren't very happy. They were telling me, they said how. So I said, I cannot, there's just so much I can say. That's really the decision between the parents and the child. If you ask me, the child wants to do it, like the child do. They are so rich. So what? Buy another one. And the child isn't interested. The child is not interested in that toy. The child would feel better if I give that away. She wanted to give all the toys. It was amazing. And she wrote a note. So, but some of the toys are too high end, and maybe the children may not be able to, get it. I told her, I said, look, okay, you need to be fair. You need to give similar items, because you only have one of these, and you don't have enough money to buy another one, because this was based on the money she had. She didn't want to use her parents' money, and it is good that she used her own money, because she felt, this is me, I did it. So when they are involved in the process, they will do much better. And she's a fine young lady now. I don't know, after I left, I don't know what happened to her, but I keep in touch occasionally, twice a year maybe. Okay, the next step will be, seeks to organize things and people. Because they want to, that's like leadership quality. Okay, you stand here, we'll do this, I'll be, let's say they play a game, I will be the judge, or you know, you be the judge, you go into this team, that they kind of like to organize people or things. Unfortunately, the downside, they come up with complicated rules because their rules is based on their intellectual ability. Now, is everyone the same? Probably not. Okay? And they are seen as bossy. Like, see, she's trying to boss me around. That's not what they think they're doing. They don't think they're doing that. Unfortunately, a lot of other children may not want to play with them. They say, okay, you're bossy. As parents, what should you do? Should you allow? You need to explain to them. You need to, because their cognition, cognitively, they're very advanced. They will understand. You can explain to them that when you do like this, your other friends are not very happy because it's not fair. Everyone needs a turn. You got to explain in a way that is rational, that the child understands. You cannot say, hey, don't be bossy lah. You cannot say like that. Okay, you need to explain and help the child understand why. Large vocabulary and one broad information. Sometimes they do use the words to manipulate. They use big words with you. Sometimes it's a little. They do tend to show off a little bit, especially with adults. Or sometimes with other children to show that see, I know. That's usually when they dislike that person. Okay. Okay, bored with school and age peers. Now, when you're talking about something at that level and everyone else is talking about things at this level, obviously you're going to be bored. Now, if I'm talking about something, let's say I'm talking about some quantum physics, which actually I really don't know anything about. Let's say I am, and you'll all be sleeping now, right? Now, the fact that you are here on a Sunday when you can sleep at home, right? And you are still not sleeping, that means you are interested. Because what I'm saying interests you. Okay? A gifted child also needs people around them who are interesting. So when they're not interesting, when they don't understand what they're talking about, it is not meaningful to them. Okay? Conversation has to be meaningful. Then they are going to get bored. High expectations of self and others. Well, it's good to have high expectations, not extremely high. But unfortunately, intolerant perfectionists may become depressed. Now, they don't tolerate a lot of mistakes by other kids. Like, why you cannot do this? Like why you so stupid like that, And it must be perfect. You see, other children, they need to know that not everyone can do what they can do. Never tell them, you are gifted, that's why you can do it. This child is not gifted, that's why he can't do it. Never ever say that to them. Never label your child. Okay? Never ever label your child. We go through that deeper in the perfectionist, everything must be perfect. Okay? And when they are perfectionists, they expect others to be perfectionists as well. Creative, inventive, likes new ways of doing things, may be seen as disruptive and out of step. Usually at school, they do things in a different way. You ask them, okay, write comprehension. They write something very, very straight. You like, where got such thing? Teachers should never do that. Or they tell you some story which you find that, say, are you crazy? Or in your mind you can think like that, that's okay. But never tell that to your child. Allow the child to explore. What you should do, instead of just, yes, listening, don't only listen. Start probing further. Challenge their mind. You have to ask them questions that will challenge them. Then you see they will get even more, okay, it can go on and on. It can tire you, but it's not going to tire them. If you have time, challenge them. They say something out of the world, you challenge them, really? Prove it, show me, or something like that. Challenge their mind. Intense concentration, long attention span, and persistence in areas of interest. This will cause a problem. They neglect duties. Sometimes they're supposed to take care of the younger sibling, but they're so interested in something. The sibling falls and cries, they just like, okay, I'm not bothered, I'm busy doing my thing. Okay? Resist interruption and stubbornness. It's dinner time. Adam, come and have your dinner. Wait. After 10 minutes, come and have your dinner. Wait. Then you get angry. You start yelling at the child. Actually, the child wants to finish what he or she is doing. You need to look for ways and means to, sometimes when they are really rules, sometimes when it is not so important for the child to have dinner at that time, it's okay. 10 to 15 minutes delay, so what? You can tell, okay, you should not tell the child off at the first instance. Like, you know, if I say now, you come now. Whatever you do, I don't care, you just come. Mommy, little bit more, I don't care, just come. The child will get very upset. Okay, what if you do is, okay, I'm going to give you 7 minutes. Don't do the 5-10 minutes thing. Challenge their mind. Do 7-12 minutes. They will be interested also. It's very, because they need something different. 5 minutes every time, 5 minutes. Okay, 7.5 minutes. Challenge them. Let them think, what is 7.5 minutes? Trust me, it works.
You're right.
Right, you're right. See, you can relate already. And you ask them, they'll say like, your son just now going into billions, gazillions. So it's very challenging, you know, for them when you talk and you accept their language.